Good afternoon, everybody. It's Stephen and Paul from WinExtra bringing you your Microsoft Daily Brief for January 24th, 2011. And it's a slow day for news, but a busy day for both of us, so it's not sure how much we're going to have to say. But
no, we have plenty to say, as always. Two cranky old farts like us always have lots to wax lyrical about. But I suppose before we get into the news for this kind of slow Monday on episode number 80...
Yeah, you goofed.
Yeah, we've got a new number, folks, for you to ring us in, because the old number, the account got deleted, and I didn't realize it. Anyway, new phone number to ring in and let us know, just what your opinions are on things, any news articles or anything that we talk about during the show that you might be able to shed some light on, or you just want to tell, Hodgson how cranky he is and how he needs to, I don't know, shave off that mustache or something. Drop us a line at 251. Drop us a line at 251-281-8730. Now remember, that number is open 24 hours a day for you to leave us a voicemail. Or you can, send us a text message. Or, I suppose if you're feeling old-fashioned, you can always send us an email to podcast@winextra.com. But really, we do love your feedback, and we'd love to hear your feedback on the stories that we're going to go through today.
Before we do, I do have one update, though, on a story we ran last week about the sale of ConnectHacks.net. Apparently, they've almost hit 1 million page views. That was at just under 900,000 when we first reported it, and we have a update on the price. Right now, the bid is at $5,000 for the site, and there's still 2 more days to go. So, good site, folks. Grab it if you can. I know if I had the money, I'd seriously think about it. Seriously, I would.
Okay.
Another thing that we talked about last week, remember the meeting that Microsoft was having with the Chevron WP folks?
This is when we were talking about the fact that they were bringing the sort of hacker community on board, and they were going to give a phone to, what was his name? The iPhone hacker guy.
GeoHot.
The GeoHot, yeah. And I speculated that they would give to him and to the Chevron team the Asus E600, which at that point in time we only had leaked pictures coming out of Vietnam of. Yeah. And it looks like my prediction was correct.
Yes.
So they get perhaps the ugliest Windows Phone 7 device on the market. But you know what? Free.
Hey, yeah.
Not gonna pay for that.
I wouldn't bitch if I got one for free either. No. Hell no. Yeah, but good on them. And apparently, I guess from what I understand, the meetings are going really, really well. Unfortunately, a lot of what they're talking about is still under NDA. But from what I've caught on Twitter and what I've caught in various posts, they are very happy, or the team is very happy with Microsoft and the roadmap forward for this homebrew thing.
Which again brings me back to the focus of what we said. Was it last Friday or last Thursday about the other fella that's also releasing a jailbreak tool? And it's kind of like, he needs to start speaking to people on the Chevron team, and he needs to start speaking to Microsoft, and because if they've all changed their minds about doing it because of the roadmap that is down the way, so,
I just wish Microsoft...
You know what? Sorry, but just from the simplest point of view of the amount of effort put in to write a jailbreak tool, why bother if it's coming anyway, and you're only going to get locked out in the meantime?
I just wish that Microsoft was having the same kind of transparency, so to speak, with what the whole roadmap of what Windows Phone 7 is. We still don't know really firm release dates. We don't know what's coming in them. We've just got innuendo and possible dates, and this is something that I think Microsoft really, really needs to step up and be upfront with right across the board.
Yeah, they need to up their game in this respect. We need to know what's coming, and there needs to be sort of more dialogue with the community about everything. But the other side of it, I think, that Microsoft sees is that, look, we're in the middle of a game of catch-up, okay?
True, but still.
If we go around and we're going to start telling people, look, this is coming then, this is coming then, this is coming then, they're going to get a whole load of people who are just going to sit there and whine and moan and be like, well, why aren't we getting this now? Why aren't we getting that now? And, they're probably just thinking, look, let's just knuckle down and stick to our roadmap and get what we need to get done.
Interestingly enough, and this isn't in the show notes, but there's been a lot of talk going around the web this morning about Google having a Chrome extension being made to stop, do not track thing for advertisers. And
that's not just Google, yeah, that's
Firefox too. But
Firefox has it in the header, and Microsoft have their own version as well.
But here's the interesting thing: Microsoft first announced it as a feature coming in IE9 prior to either Firefox or Google announcing.
Don't get me started about this, okay? This do not track thing is perhaps the stupidest thing I've heard of yet on the internet. And here is why. First off, companies like Facebook that already don't give a shite about your privacy aren't going to respect it. There's no way you can enforce this. You can't legally enforce it on any website that is not based in the US. You can't force websites to comply with this. And finally, most importantly, people like you and me and half the websites that you visit out there are free due to the power of advertising. Advertising which relies on some form of tracking, at least minimal tracking, in order to be able to judge who you are and provide relevant ads.
Can you imagine what this would do to affiliate sites? Like affiliate advertising?
Can you imagine what it would do to Google's bottom line if 99% of what AdSense... Okay, let's be honest. Only 60% of what AdSense puts out there at the moment is in any way relevant. Mm-hmm. But imagine if that dropped down to like only 2%. Or if the only relevancy was pure luck.
Yeah.
Right? So you no longer have targeted relative advertising except by geolocation. Oh, but by the way, if you're not tracking that, they can't do geolocation. Yeah. Which means, you don't know who you're serving ads to. The ass will fall out of the advertising market if people seriously try to push this. It's ridiculous. Okay, maybe I'm being over dramatic, but seriously, when you think about it, it is ridiculous. Yeah. And, I for one, and I'll say this now, on any of my sites that I provide, and all the content on all of my sites, including the new ones that we're launching, whether it be dailyshite.com or unfollowingjesus.com or anywhere, all rely on contextual advertising in order to pay my bills and server bills and stuff like that. If browsers implement a do not block, I, for one, will be ignoring it because I don't see why I should take a dump in my ad revenue because, you want something for absolutely free but don't want to pay for it.
Yeah, I agree with you. But anyway, up to some more current news. Bing has got a brand new image landing page, and it's kind of cool. I like it. I like it a lot.
I don't know. I looked at it just pre-show, and I was like, what is the point of this?
It's for the general consumer to go click, press, and...
Yeah, I know. It's the drive clicks, because people come in and see, like I saw, they go, oh, look, boobies! Click.
Yes.
Oh, look, a pretty cat! Click. Oh, look, mountains! Click. And it's kind of like, yeah, and you spend 10 minutes clicking around on nonsense shite and forget what you actually went to search there for in the first place. I can understand why, but for somebody like me who just goes to the search to search explicitly for what I'm searching for, it's absolutely pointless.
Yes, but it's nice.
But for the general web surfer just looking to waste a bit of time, I can kind of see it, and I can see the advertising dollars behind it.
Oh yeah. Going a bit down under for the next story, I guess Australia, the government there has been getting a lot of flack over so-called Microsoft favoritism.
Well, look, the problem here is I don't know the ins and outs of this case in particular. But from what I've read, it basically boils down to this. That people are complaining that the government has given their contracts for software or whatever to Microsoft. And the government's response is basically, look, we want a unified experience across all our desktops. Mm-hmm. We want everybody to be operating on the same file formats. And we want everybody to know how to use it. And we don't want to have to retrain all our staff, spending millions and millions and millions to retrain our staff, which ultimately puts the cost of doing this above the cost of, just getting the Microsoft software. Oh, okay, open source sounds wonderful in principle. It really does. But if you've ever opened OpenOffice and used it, load a Microsoft doc into it, or anything like that, you don't get the same results as you get in the original package.
No.
And, you know, you also have to use what customers are using. If you're going to send documents out to, I don't know, to businesses or customers or anywhere, you can't expect them to have OpenOffice installed. You can't expect them to go download something to open some obscure file format. And if you save it in the .doc way that OpenOffice does, it still doesn't open the same in Microsoft Office the way it should be.
No.
You know, I'm sorry, open source advocates, I'm a huge open source advocate, but really, we have to stop whining and complaining about these decisions until our end is pulled up and our software performs the way it should.
Yeah. Last one of note for today, if you're looking at getting into using solid-state drives or SSDs, Edbot has a really good post up today on how much of a difference they make, but also some caveats about how you've got to be very careful. You've got to plan for what you're doing, because it isn't just a simple process of just dropping in the drive, copying everything over, and away you go.
Well, no, it never is really that simple, but I think beyond the sheer phenomenal speed increases, I mean, there's nothing quite as good as opening up an app and have it just like, you know, have Word or Photoshop open just 1 second flat. I think for me, the biggest benefit of SSD drives is, first off, you get the performance increase, but if you put one in your laptop, dude, you can shake that laptop to bits without having to worry about drive damage, because there's no movable parts in there anymore. And it makes things incredibly rugged, you know. It's especially, I don't know, my wife is going to kill me for saying this, you know, but like, if you have external portable hard drives or whatnot, you know, she'll have them plugged into USB, and she'll push them around and she'll lift them up while they're moving, and I'm going, just don't do that! You know, they're not meant to be moved around. They may be portable, but they're supposed to be put down and left down when they're operating. And, you know, a lot of people do that, and a lot of people think that it's okay to do that, and I can understand that. But SSD sort of solves that problem because there's no movable part. It's like basically having a massive thumb drive running everything. So that's awesome.
Anyway, that's the show for today. Do you want to do a quick blurb on the
yeah, just a reminder to everybody, folks, that, you know, we're still running the drive on WinExtra to raise a little bit of funding to enable us to get better servers and, you know, gadgets for review, and basically provide you guys with a better service. Now, how it works is this. Is if you donate $1, we take 50 cents of it to make WinExtra better, and the other 50 cents goes towards a prize fund. Once we hit the first value of $250 donated, what we're going to do is give 2 of you guys $60 to spend on the Steam store each, any which way you feel like. And of course, obviously, if you dig deep and donate a little more than $1, you get more chances to win that at the same time. So it helps everybody out. You get the chance to win, and WinExtra gets to become a better source of Microsoft news for you. And it keeps us smiling, right?
And on that note, folks, this has been Microsoft's Daily Brief for WinExtra. Oh, wow. Have I ever messed that one up, didn't I?
Come on. Make it sound to be a Microsoft-endorsed show.
Yeah. Ooh, they'd love that, wouldn't they? Anyway, this has been Steve and Paul from WinExtra, bringing you Daily Briefs for January 24th, 2011. We'll get it right tomorrow, maybe. See you later, everybody.
8 episodes in and we still haven't. So
no, probably not. See you later, everybody.
See you later, folks.